Hey everybody, we're rolling. Welcome to the show. Currently we have breaking news. This is a sky view of a synagogue in Bloomfield, Michigan. Yeah, Bloomfield, Michigan. It's called Temple Israel, and apparently all I've gotten currently is, and trust me, I had like a completely different show planned for today, but from what I know, nobody's harmed except for the suspect, which is reportedly dead at this time. But currently, all I've gotten from it was the subject, who again is thus far reportedly dead, drove their vehicle into pretty sure it's a he, but drove their vehicle into the synagogue here. Not sure if it's a terrorist attack yet. It would make sense for the times that we're in currently if this was a terrorist attack. But I'm currently not 100%. Again, I'm gonna try to get as much information as I possibly can at this point. Let's see. Again, this is not planned, not a planned episode. This is, you know, okay. Our guys are currently researching everything they possibly can. While our guys are gathering information on that, I want to go ahead and get into our planned episode, which was supposed to be later, but we got to it early. It's okay. Actually, this is around the time we usually are, so never mind. But I want to get into let me get our stuff ready for this episode. We'll be right back. And I will get straight back to it. One moment. Everybody, I'm back. So I wanted to cover our situation with uh Strait of Hormuz, and how it basically directly connects to U.S. and Israel, um, in their operation with Operation Epic Fury. Um, but I think here's what people are really missing about the whole situation. This isn't just the United States versus Iran. Increasingly, Arab Gulf countries like Qatar, um, are getting pretty much fed up with Iran's aggression, especially its attempts to disrupt global shipping and threaten the Strait of Hormuz. Let's break it down for everybody watching. So first, here's some background on February. If you haven't heard of this, I'm majorly surprised, but just want to make sure everybody's filled in. Pretty sure it was February 28th, 2026. U.S. and Israel launched a major joint military campaign called Operation Epic Fury, targeting Iranian military infrastructure, missile sites, and definitely in the first hours, Iranian leadership. But since then, Iran has retaliated across the region with missile attacks, drone strikes, proxy attacks, and perhaps most dangerously, threats to close to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. Not sure how they think they're gonna do that. I was watching Newsmax earlier, and this guy, I don't know who it was exactly, but he was talking about like, oh, how Iran is calling the shots. No, not really. Like, if they tried to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, we would really turn them into a glass parking lot at that point. And Trump has threatened them with that. So if they do decide to go along with shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, which would be absolutely stupid, especially since Qatar and other countries in that region, like I think Saudi Arabia is joining in too. But since, they're definitely going to, it's not going to turn out the way they want it to if they try to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. They think they have the advantage. Obviously, they do not, because, we have the strongest military in the world. They're not going to do anything. I mean, come on. We have like the best advantage on Iran right now. Let's think. I want to cover this for about an hour, maybe. Not too long. But really, everybody, I get Trump wanting to threaten them, but I don't think he realizes how much, and I love Trump. I love what he's doing in the Middle East, but like, I don't think he understands how much oil, the percentage of oil we get from Iran. We get 4% of our oil from Iran out of the total percentage of oil that we get from other countries, which is, a lot of our oil, but that's 4% out of our total oil that we get from anywhere. So, I mean, the media is going to act like, oh, well, if they shut down the Strait of Hormuz, then everything's, the gas prices are going to go up. Let me tell you something. They've tried, I mean, of course they're going to try to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. But anyway, beside that point, it's not going to change anything. Like, we're literally going to, everybody's going to try to all these oil companies or whatever, you know, like gas stations and stuff. They're going to try to raise the prices because they think they're at an advantage in the American people. Because, you know, a lot of most Americans aren't going to think, oh, well, it's, you know, they're lying to us because we only get 4% of our oil from Iran. No, they're going to think, well, this must be because of the conflict in the Middle East. Because, you know, Iran has a lot of oil and Middle Eastern countries have a lot of oil. We must be getting, but like Qatar, I'm not sure like how much oil they have in the ground over there, but it's like a neighboring country. They gotta have a lot of oil. All I know about the oil percentages is we only get 4% of our total oil from Iran. But Iran knows exactly what it's doing, and instead of fighting a conventional war with the US, Iran is trying to create economic pressure on the entire world, which, you know, it's not gonna work if the American people actually know what they're talking about. But and I feel like the American people should definitely fight back against these oil companies because they're definitely trying to take an advantage on the average American. It's unbelievable. They're trying to raise these prices. By the way, it costs less, and I've discussed this on one of my shows, but it costs less to produce diesel than it does any other oil or fuel. But more people in the United States of America use diesel. Therefore, gas companies are going to be like, oh, supply and demand. So more people use diesel than gasoline or petrol. Sorry, not petrol. Kerosene. By the way, kerosene is the highest cost to produce, which is, you know, should raise the price on that. But no, they're going to try to take advantage of the average American citizen, the average American adult, really. But I mean, I'm not an adult, and I understand this. I'm 14, and I understand this better than not the average, but like a lot of like adults, I think, that are like seeing these prices go up. I think I understand it better than them. And I'm not trying to like insult anybody, but like I'm just saying. I think American citizens just need to get everything together. It's not even just American citizens that need to get everything together. It's not their fault that they don't, I mean, partially, I guess, but it's not their fault that they don't understand everything that's going on. It's the gas companies that are, you know, the gas station companies that are trying to pretty much scam the money out of the American citizen. So, really, anybody who uses diesel. I haven't seen any other prices rise. Definitely gonna check around on that, but at this time, in locally at least, I'm only seeing diesel rise, and it's wild. And I assume, you know, oil companies, fuel companies are going to try to manipulate the minds of people, of course, by like raising the other prices on fuel. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but what else do I want to get to? I don't know. We're going to get to something else in a moment. I'll be right back with you after a quick break. Be right back. Hey everybody, you're back. Welcome back. Or I wanted to get back to that, what we were previously discussing, about that situation. And we can put it on the small screen if we want. Yeah, I want to get to that. Here's the sheriff's statement. This is here's at ABC. Give it a second. Okay, we can put that on the screen now. We'll play it.
Here's what we know so far. A car came to the facility, breached the facility by driving into it, was engaged by security. We believe there is one individual deceased in the vehicle. It's been complicated because there was some fire, to say the least, with that vehicle. We believe that individual is deceased. No kids, this is the important thing, no kids or no staff was injured whatsoever, okay? So we have no victims other than one of the lead security people was hit by the car and was taken to the hospital for treatment. That individual should be okay. So far, that's our information to this point. We have agencies from all over. Obviously, ATF is here, FBI. More than likely, we'll be taking the lead on this based on some of the preliminary investigative information we have, but we're not going to go into that at this point. But we want to assure the community it doesn't appear to be anything active. We're still clearing the area. We're going to clear vehicles for any explosive devices, the building, etc. Unification of the families and the kids are in progress. We've accounted for everybody that we believe was in the building at the time. So we're on path to continue to maybe pivot to, is there anybody else involved, and the investigative side of what's happened.
Sheriff, they're not sure if Bloomfield. I think Bloomfield is the city. Not sure what his position and all that is. I knew he's a sheriff, but like, what county sheriff he is? Find out. Eventually, I guess. Anywho, he said the ATF was there, and the FBI, of course. FBI, wonderful. ATF finally doing their jobs, or at least doing their due diligence. But what I wanted to get into after all that, which of course I'd like to put that other thing back, big screen if we can, possibly. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, let's see. I want to really get into I don't know what I want to do. We'll get into sort of, SBA. That's what I wanted to get over today. Okay. Try to get through that. Okay. SBA administrator. What's her name again? Trying to think. Oh my gosh. Man. Brain. I want to pull it up. Can we pull it up, guys? Okay, crew is gonna pull it up. On the scenes crew is gonna pull it up for us. Her name is Just search up SBA. Yeah, search up SBA. Yeah, that one. That's the yeah. Pull up the article. Okay. Her name is Kelly Loeffler. She's the or I think I'm saying I keep on like wondering if I'm pronouncing her name right. I hope I am. Pull up, yeah, can we pull up the article and then we'll get her or get that on the screen. Yeah, we can put that one on. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, put it on big screen for you guys. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Today, in the effort to prioritize American job creators, U.S. Small Business Administration, aka SBA, issued a new policy notice to ban foreign nationals and non-citizens from accessing SBA guaranteed small business loans. The latest notice, which applies to the agency's surety bond and microloan programs. Can we zoom this in? Yeah. Well, builds on the policy change implemented earlier this month, which made any small business owned in whole or in part by a foreign national ineligible for the agency's flagship 504 and 7A loan programs. Small business owners applying for any SBA loan program must be U.S. citizens or U.S. nationals with their principal residence in the United States. So basically, what this does is it just limits, it's helping limit the first what it's mainly doing, as it said in the article here, or in the beginning of the article, is it helps the effort to prioritize American job creators. So American citizens were born here, or I'm not sure if it's taking away the foreign national, like the illegal aliens, or like all aliens, their eligibility to take out a loan from SBA. But think about it. These are taxpayer loans. They're using funds from taxes from taxpayers all across the nation for these loans, and some illegal was able to just come over and take out a loan. I mean, lovely. You want to give back, or not really give back, I don't know. But you want to actually try to do something for yourself in the United States when you come here. Maybe come here legally. Hold on. Actually, I just saw something. The latest policy builds on numerous reforms by Administrator Loeffler to put American small business owners first. Last year, the agency implemented citizenship verification across its loan programs to cut off access loans for illegal aliens. The agency also announced efforts to relocate SBA field offices out of sanctuary cities that do not comply with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, aka ICE. I'm gonna print shirts for ICE soon. Hopefully, we can get it done. Jeopardizing both the safety of SBA employees and small business owners. Okay. This said last year, so I'm not sure if this this new thing actually goes along with illegal aliens or just all aliens again. Still gonna wonder about that. I'll do some research into it, but really, this is all I needed to cover. With that, it's lovely they're doing there. Put that there. But yeah, I think that's wonderful. Wonderful new implementation. We'll put the link to that article in if you want to visit that. I want to get back to situation in Bloomfield, Michigan. I want to show you some images of the front. Can we pull up that we'll pull up the second image that we have there. This is West Bloomfield. Okay. West Bloomfield. Put it on here. We can actually put it full screen. Yeah. Why not? See the fire department there. A wonderful job. As always, you know. Love our first responders. But this is what the front looks like. Interesting. You can barely see the front there. Let me try to get that other image, please. Yeah, we'll try to get that there for you. Yeah, put the first image. This is really like the sky view you've been seeing in the video the entire time anyway, so it really isn't anything that new. We'll pull it up anyway. Who cares? Why not? You see the men on the ground here. Pull it up, guys, please. Or just remember to remember to say please and tuncle, okay? Yeah, looks from there you really can't see much, but we'll big screen it. Yeah, it's just a sky view. Like literally, that's all it is. I want to find. We'll pull the video back up. After. Just pull it back up. Who cares? If our team can find it. Here it is.
We can or
Okay. At this time, I don't really know. My segment is about to be over in like, I don't know, 12 minutes, 14 minutes, something like that. But while we're doing that, put this video on the screen. I want to check. Okay, this. I want to talk about. Okay, we'll talk about. That new supreme leader fella. Pull up his name. I don't know how to say this. Okay. His name is Mojtabi Khamenei. He's the son of Ali Khamenei. The former Ayatollah. Let's see here. Okay. He got like a sort of bad time to come into power in like one of the weakest countries in the region at this time, I guess. So I'm just gonna call him Khamenei at this point. This new Khamenei dude. So Khamenei has been, I guess you could say, a powerful member of the, or powerful leader, I guess, behind the scenes in Iran for years. But here's what makes this moment historic when he came into power. So, for the first time in the history of the Islamic Republic, power essentially passed from father to son. That's ironic because Iran's revolution in 1979 was supposed to end hereditary rule and monarchy, but now the leadership looks almost identical, I guess you could say, in that way. And he was chosen by Iran's Assembly of Experts. That's what they're called. I don't know. The clerical body, they're the clerical body responsible for selecting the supreme leader. But many analysts say Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, which is what I recently found out that's what that stands for. But heavily pushed for his appointment during the wartime crisis. His first message to the world shortly after taking power was Iran intends to keep the Strait of Hormuz closed. So this guy's an idiot. He's very stupid. So he wants to keep the Strait of Hormuz closed while Trump is like absolutely threatening them into, like, he's saying some pretty devastating stuff. Like if he takes action on these things, it's going to be pretty much more devastating than the attacks that have taken place in Iran. But holy crap, this guy thinks he's just the biggest hotshot in the world right now. No, bud, no. Okay. Let's get this straight. Let's get some things straight here. If you keep on trying, this is basically what Trump is telling them. If you keep on trying to pretty much disobey me, because at this point, I'm overseeing you, okay? I don't think he's going to be in power for much longer, honestly, at this point. Because, really, once we absolutely destroy their leadership, I mean, dude, they've been through like 3 or 4 sets of leaders at this point, and like, I feel like he's the only one actually doing anything. That's a little bit of a compliment at the same time. I'm insulting him. A little bit of compliment. He's the only one actually doing anything over there in Iran. Which just shows how weak they are. They only have like one guy actually pretty much being like the press guy and the leader at the same time. It's awful. What do you expect, man? Before we close out, he also warned that U.S. military bases across the Gulf could be targeted if the conflict continues. That statement immediately alarmed governments around the world. But why? Because the Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important shipping lanes on Earth to most countries, with massive amounts of global oil passing through it. If it stays closed, the consequences could include massive oil price spikes, global economic instability, and military escalation in the Persian Gulf. And I'm not saying this because we get any oil from Iran, but if that's a route that other countries, like I guess Qatar, uses to transport oil to other countries, that's gonna cause some mass instability there. But I mean, really, it can't affect the U.S. If Trump knows, and I think Trump knows what he's doing. Okay, he's been doing a pretty great job leading the country, and everything. We're about to overrun our time, but yeah, I appreciate everybody for joining us. Good to have everybody on the show with us. God bless you all. Have a great day. Oh, before we close out, I wanted to start doing a daily Bible verse. We have the daily Bible verse. Okay, here it is. Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways, acknowledging him, and he shall direct thy paths. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been the Braxton Bailey Show. I'm Braxton Bailey. We'll see you next time.